and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing another month ahead reading for the month of March. Right now we are in 2024, so if you're watching this as it comes out, we're looking at March 2024, but you are totally welcome to watch it at any year whenever this pops up for you. So we are going to be doing a general tarot reading for the month ahead. As you may know, I separate the sections of the month into thirds. So we're going to look at the first third, the second third, and the last third. So let me know in the comments how your February went, especially in relation to last month's reading if you watched that one. Also, a reminder to drop any questions that you want me to answer when I go live this month. So if you missed it, I did go live in the month of February. I answered whatever questions I did get. So I'm excited to start racking up questions for those monthly lives so that, you know, we can build some sort of connection there and that you feel like you're getting specific questions answered. Also, if you want to donate or feel like you want to be part of some sort of exchange with me because of these readings, you are totally welcome to send money to Venmo or PayPal. Those links are in the description. Absolutely not required, but I promise you it is so appreciated. It feels so nice to feel appreciated and valued in that monetary way. But of course, that is not the only reason I'm doing this. I love to be of service and I love to feel like the messages that people need to hear are reaching them in whatever medium. So I'm grateful to be able to be that channel for you guys. March is especially exciting because it is the end of winter and stepping into spring. We've got Ostara this month, which is so exciting. It's this time of potential and fertility and newness. It's like new life coming in. We get to breathe new life into our everyday. So I will be using the Ostara Tarot in the reading this month as well. And I'm just excited to uncover what's coming up for us this coming month. Instead of crystals or oracle cards on the top, you'll be choosing from candles that I've made. So if you don't know, I'm also a candle maker. I put crystals and Reiki in my candles. They're all soy-based. And today you'll be choosing from a couple of my mini chakra candles. So let's get you down on this table and see the piles that you've got. I'm really excited to see what we uncover for you. All right, here are the three piles. These are my mini chakra candles. Pile 1, we have got root. Pile 2, throat. And pile 3, crown. All right, pile number 1, you chose this mini root candle. So you chose it. These are the crystals on top. We have got garnet, smoky quartz, and black tourmaline. If you are unaware and you just chose it off of vibes, the root is at the base of the spine, the groin area. This is our sense of security, of safety, of an innate sense of worthiness. It's also where we hold really old and deep emotions like grief, shame, not allowing ourselves to be fully us. It's those emotions that come up when we don't feel completely safe or secure. And so dealing with root issues, this is intense work that we do. And so let's see how this shows up in your March. I'm going to start off with the Light Seers deck. That's what's calling me right now. So the first third of March, from March 1st to March 10th, we're still in Pisces season. Ooh, Knight of Cups and Seven of Cups. Wow. And then Four of Pentacles. Wow. I see this, if you are in whatever sort of situationship right now, I do see this as you have options. You have options when it comes to the relationships in your life. You don't have to fall for the idealist, the romantic stuff, but I also see that this is an option for you. The Seven of Cups tells me that you have a choice to make in the first third of March. Between March 1st and March 10th, there's some sort of decision or choice that you have to make. And I feel like it's in relation to your sense of personal worth, your knowledge of how worthy you are and of how important you are, the self-value being really important, knowing that you are worth being wooed, being courted. So if you feel like relationships are really coming up for you right now, you need to feel as though the people in your life are making you feel like a princess in a way is what's coming up, even though this is the Knight. This Knight of Cups is a very romantic night. It is one of showing through grand gestures and showing emotion, following their emotion. And the Seven of Cups is a card of choice and following what feels right, not always following the logic. And instead of feeling bogged down by options, to see this as a moment of opportunity. If relationships aren't really a theme in your life right now, I do see this as being a time of assessing your own self-worth and assessing this foundation of knowing that you are so valuable as you are and not taking anything less than that message forward. So if anybody or any situation, if your work is making you feel devalued and unappreciated or underappreciated, this is a time to sit in a solid foundation of I am worthy of being appreciated. And then following from that, taking action from that sensation, from that feeling. If you feel as though maybe the opposite is happening, as though you are being appreciated way more than you think you deserve, that's some root stuff right there. That is dealing with root emotions of unworthiness, of shame, of resentment, of deep grief, of self-abandonment. So if you feel as though you're not worthy of being this admired or appreciated, that's something to uncover as well in the first third of March. All right, second third of March. So from March 11th to the 20th, we're using the Ostara Tarot because, ooh, there it is. Oh, look at that. 9 of Cups, the Moon. There we go. And the 4 of Swords. Wow, how fascinating. So you've gotten 4s, both rows so far. I'll show these to you. So we've got this 9 of Cups here, which is a wish granted card. It's a card of knowing that you are safe emotionally and that also whatever it is that your heart desires is coming to you. All you have to do is lay down and allow it to envelop around you, especially with this 4 of Swords, which is a card of rest, and the bunny rabbit being a symbol of fertility and of newness, of new life coming in, of new projects. Fertility doesn't always mean in your body. It means in projects, fertility of the mind, fertility of the heart. So really, in order to fertilize what is coming into your life, it's best for you to rest. Isn't that great? Wow, lucky you. You don't really have to do anything. All you have to do is feel into the energies, allow Pisces season to do its work around you. And then once we do reach Aries season around the 21st, I don't have that off the top of my head, that is when you can start taking action. But this middle part of March, we're still in Pisces season. We're still in a state of surrender and letting go and not having to do so much, but just having to assess what we would like to have done around us, and then trusting that the universe will take care of those tasks for us. Really clear messaging there, not about taking action, just about leaving it be, resting, and being in touch with your heart, being in touch with the soul messages that are coming up. All right, last third of March. We are in Aries season now. So from the 21st to the 31st, this guy. We've got the Knight of Swords. There we go. The 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. I see this as maybe being blind to the ideas you have, maybe being a little blindsided by other people's words, or feeling like other people have their shit together a little bit better than you, but really they just have the idea of shit together. It's not really concrete and tangible, and otherwise you don't need to be spending your time comparing yourself to others. Aries is a sign that is very in its ego. It wants to be the best. It feels this need to prove itself all the time. So try not to fall into the trap of wanting to prove yourself in the last third of March. I'll show you these cards here. We've got the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, similar to the Knight of Cups, isn't one that charges forward from a place of emotion, but is one that charges forward from a place of logic, of knowing, of understanding, and of concepts. This is a communicative card. We are really allowing our words to come out. We're allowing our ideas to pan out and following our ideas without feeling the need to follow through to the very end of wherever your ideas take you. It's simply about an exploration of ideas. And that might be sort of a hard concept because this 8 of Swords is one that feels quite stuck in its ways. It feels very stuck in the wiring of its mind, in the way that we think about certain things. And it's time to take the blinders off and recognize that you might be holding yourself back because of this fear of not following through, because you feel like it might not come to anything. There's almost this sense that it's not valuable, but actually the exploration of your ideas and your mind and your thoughts and your feelings in a way as well can be a journey on its own. zone. It doesn't have to be about the destination. It doesn't have to be about what you get from the end result. It can be about what you learn along the way. Wow, how cliche. And we've got this Five of Cups. I think this is just speaking to changing the way that you allow yourself to feel about certain things. Judging. I feel like this is a self-judgment time as well in that Aries season, because Aries does tend to always look at itself from the perspective of somebody else. Like, how am I coming across? What is the impression that I'm giving? How am I proving myself enough? Don't worry so much about the comparison and your reflection to others. Instead, focus on what's in here. And as long as that aligns with what you are putting out there, that's all that matters. So I'm going to pull a card from the Self-Care Oracle. I love this deck. I haven't pulled from it in a while, so I figured now is the time. Ooh, we've got Spend Time with Animals. You got 3. Positive Affirmations and Look to the Stars. That is beautiful. These are some great. We've got Look to the Stars, Positive Affirmations, and Spend Time with Animals. And actually, this is kind of giving me mudras. Like, look into mudras, look into the energy of, or reconnecting with your own cycle. Like this, I believe, is Anjali Mudra, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I am not well versed in mudras really, but I know that this is a connection between the two palms, connection of the feminine to the masculine, and really feeling like you are finding a balance between the two. Positive affirmations. So think about what it is that you're worried about. Think about how you're worried about coming across, or what you feel is not showing you in the not the best light, but the most aligned light, like the most accurate light. And then try and rewire the way that you think about that. Look to the Stars. If you're trying to get into astrology, always feel free to check out the podcast, The Stars Made Me Do It. That's my podcast. There's a great Back to Basics series if you are trying to just get started and feel a little overwhelmed by all the information. The Back to Basics series is a really good one for getting into it. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you. I'm sending you a lot of love. Good luck with your root. Feel free to put your palms on that root area of your body and just give it the love, give it the energy. Tell yourself, tell your body that you are worthy of receiving that love. All right, thanks guys. Bye. All right, pile 2, you chose this throat. This is a mini version of the original, and we've got turquoise, sodalite, and blue lace agate, and this candle is eucalyptus and mint scented, so very good for the throat. It's funny because today actually my throat is feeling a little tickly, so maybe this message is for me as well. The throat chakra is all about communication and speaking your truth, and if it's not about actively externally speaking your truth, it's about knowing your truth and living in alignment with that truth, with your perception of reality being your truth. So we are going to start off with this spirit animal card deck. Oh my gosh, maybe use words. And actually the Magician just fell out of here, so we'll see if he comes out again. So looking at the first third of March, from the 1st to the 10th. Wow. Feels scattered. Something feels scattered in here. We've got the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Crystals, and the Page of Shells, which is the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups here, we've got the Frog. This one is telling me all about adaptability and allowing yourself to be inspired by what is around you. A really major theme right now during this Pisces season is not feeling the pressure to make something make the end result be absolutely the end all, right? It's more about the journey that we're experiencing, which was some themes that pile 1 had as well. So if you were between the 1st and the 2nd, just know that that message is especially strong for you. The Page of Cups is one of self-reflection and of adaptability and changing the way that we approach things, allowing our emotions to evolve and grow as we evolve and grow, and not feeling so tied to old versions of our emotions. I don't know if you can hear the dogs, but they're hanging. We've also got the 2 of Crystals, which is the 2 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Swords, 2 of Feathers here. We've got, I believe this is an antelope, and then we've got an iguana. So very reptilian, but then this antelope is extremely warm. I think that the first third of March is about finding a balance and not being hard on yourself if you don't feel really certain. Page of Cups is not a certainty card. Pages in the tarot, if you're not aware, are cards of new and very young energy, energy, immature, but that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It just more means inexperienced, and it's okay to be inexperienced. It's okay to be a beginner at something, and finding the balance and polarities that maybe during this first third of the month, you're starting something new. If you're starting a new job, a new career, a family, a relationship, anything that is different from what you have been used to throughout your life already, know that it's a balance to get to a place of security. And also knowing that what has been your truth in the past doesn't have to be your truth now. And so again, that comes back to evolving and growing on an emotional level in accordance with the way that your life is growing and evolving, and with the way that you are maturing and evolving. So that's the first third of March. It's very conceptual. There's nothing super like strong coming at me that's like, this is going to happen and this is exactly how it's going to lay out. It's more like these are the concepts that we're going to be playing with. Feels like there's a duality or a polarity within yourself, and there's going to be a need to balance it out and accept that you don't know it all right now. That's tough. All right, moving on, we're going to use the Light Seers for March 11th to the 20th. I love this deck. Chris-Anne is divine. Here we go. Ooh, look at those three right there. Page of Wands, the Emperor, and the Two of Cups. For anybody who is currently dating or in a new relationship, I see this relationship taking another step here in the middle of the month. It feels like you have to be the one to initiate the next step. You have to be the one to truly communicate what it is that you want. The Page of Wands knows what she wants, and she's not worried about the consequences or how other people are looking at her. She's following her inspiration, which was a theme in the Page of Shells as well. This is a card of allowing yourself to just throw the wand up in the air, because that's what you know will work for you. And even if that doesn't work for other people, this is the way your energy needs to be emitted. Because see how this wand is being thrown up and it's just being cycled back to her, back through her. This magic of the wand is going through her chest, through her heart. So following your heart, following what you're passionate about. If it's not relationship, this could be work related too, because the Emperor is sometimes a boss in the tarot, or an authority figure, but it also could be you being a leader, you being the Aries of the group, if you're in a group setting. This feels like you have to take charge, even if you don't feel like you know what you're doing, right? The Page, like I said, is inexperienced, but the Emperor, he's sitting at the top. He knows exactly what needs to be done. He is the one in charge. And even if he doesn't know what the right answers are, he has to exude this sense of confidence in order to make other people feel like they are taken care of. You need to speak up, right? We're talking about the throat. You need to speak up in this middle part of March and communicate. Even if you don't feel super confident, communicate that you will take care of the situation regardless of that you know how to. And then we've got the Two of Cups again. So this feels like being reliable, being someone that people can depend on, that being really important, and allowing yourself also to have an outlet, to have one other person in your inner circle that you can feel completely like you let go, and you don't have to feel like you're the one in charge. The Page of Wands is one that doesn't have to have a lot of responsibility, but the Emperor does. So again, we've got this sense of duality where there's a desire to just throw your wand up in the air and see how things land, but there's also a desire to be the authority figure in a situation and to take care of others, to be the responsible one. Take charge. I feel like this is the time where you can demand what you want as well. If you're looking for a promotion or a raise, or you're trying to communicate your needs to a partner or something of the sort, this is the time for you to really do it. All right, moving on, the last third of March, we're going to use the Ostara Tarot because we have past Ostara, which is the beginning of spring, Aries season, the astrological new year. Let's see, 1, 2. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the the High Priestess and the Emperor. Wow, so you got 4 cards for this last third of March. So I'll show you these 2 wand cards. The Knight of Wands here charges forward. The Knight is one step after the Page. So we've gone through the first 2 stages of March are very Page energy, very new, inexperienced, open to learning, adaptable, mutable, and we've gone through to a Knight stage, which is moving forward, taking action. And I love that for the next Aries season, basically. For, you know, Pisces season is one of being mutable and of observing and surrendering, and then Aries season is time to take charge and move forward, charge forward. And again, you did get the Emperor card for a second time in this deck. The Emperor is ruled by Aries. So, and the High Priestess. Again, it is not about knowing logically and certainly what you need to do, but instead following your intuition, following your inspiration. And this Five of Wands, although sometimes it can be a competitive card, feels much more like a collaborative card. But note that it could be either, depending on your approach to the world and your approach to the relationships around you. This could be a time where it is you who decides whether you are competing or collaborating with somebody else. I think it's important for you to notice when your ego is in check, or keep your ego in check, and to make sure that it doesn't run the show, but instead use that ego energy in a positive way. Use it as ambition and determination and movement forward, for progress, for growth, for forward movement. That's all it is. Be passionate, be inspired, take charge, and don't worry about the consequences quite yet. We will deal with the consequences later on, the responsibilities, but first we have to make sure that we love what we're doing before we commit to dealing with the responsible side, dealing with the consequences. Again, this month feels very conceptual. Like, it doesn't feel like it's super on the consciousness. It feels very like it's on the unconscious side of ourselves, much more like our spirit guides are plopping ideas, plopping situations in our lives and seeing how we react to them. So always be aware of how you are reacting to a situation, and if the way that you react is in alignment with your current truth, with your personal truth, and speak up. This month is really one to speak up. All right, I'm going to use the self-care oracle just to see what are some ways that you can really connect to yourself and, you know, not feel so drained by others. Recharge. How can you charge? So connect with fire and dance. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Yeah. Dance, connect with fire. This feels like we need to find some heat in the body. We need to find some passion and excitement, and not let ourselves get stagnant. Keep moving. If you don't have a movement regime in your life right now, maybe this is the month to get started, especially in this last third of March during Aries season, where it's basically a new opportunity for a new year. So take advantage of that and to implement some movement into your life, not for any reason other than just to get the body heated up, get that fire inside of you sparked. All right. I hope that was helpful for you. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right. Pile 3. You chose crown. The crown is right at the crown of the head, in case you didn't know. The crystals on this one are moonstone, selenite, and clear quartz. I love it. It looks like it's glistening. And the scent for this, honestly, the crown is my favorite out of all the chakras. It's a ginger nag champa. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like a yoga studio. It smells very meditative. It's a great one. I like to put this during my morning meditation if I'm doing that, which I certainly don't do every time, but when I do, I use this candle because it really makes me feel connected, both grounded and connected to the sky. So anyway, let's get into what the month ahead for March looks like for you. We're going to start off with the Botticelli Tarot. I've been really enjoying this deck lately. I go through phases of using this one, but lately I've been definitely it's in my rotation right now. All right, so the first third of March, March 1st to March 10th. Here we go. Ooh, okay. Ooh, the World, the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. Wow, interesting. It feels like there's a defensiveness with the whole world around you in the beginning of March. And maybe we're seeking that crown connection because we need advice on how to be your highest self, on how to connect to the higher road, the higher power, to give you some advice. So know that the world is not against you. Do not fall into this paranoia trope. You are better than that. The world is absolutely there to support you. And when it gives you challenges, rather than seeing them as tests to prove you weak, they're actually tests to prove you so strong, and to see that you are totally able and capable of overcoming challenges. This Ace of Swords, they're trying to change the way that you think about a challenge and to get excited by challenge. It feels like, almost to whoever is listening to this, there feels like someone is not seeing themselves in the most accurate of lights, that they see themselves as lazy or unambitious and undetermined and whatever. Like something has been planted in the mind that you are lazy and don't have a passion. This is absolutely untrue. And instead of fighting this lesson with stubbornness and a defensiveness, accept that maybe you have been conditioned to believe something that is untrue. And you are now feeling unconsciously, because you did choose the crown here, you are desiring a connection to the truth, whatever it is, from a higher source, rather than the truth that maybe you were taught as a kid. I feel like this message of laziness is really coming through, that someone thinks they're lazy, but actually you just haven't found what you're really passionate about. And if you have something that you're supposed to be passionate about and you're not doing it and you're calling yourself lazy, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It means that you might just not be on the right road, not on the right path. And so there needs to be a connection to, again, to your groundedness, but also to your higher self and to your spirit guides to feel into what is the right path, because it feels like you're really close to it and you just need to like swivel and pivot and go on to the next road, a parallel road. 9 of Wands, this is a journey, and you're actually at the end of this cycle, which is really good. You're at the end of this thought cycle, of this pattern, of this habit of thinking a certain thing about yourself that you are not. And if it's not the laziness factor, why don't you reflect and let me know in the comments if you want to share. There's absolutely no pressure, but let me know where you think you have been conditioned to believe something that you're discovering is untrue, because the world is really here to support this growth and to support you by helping you overcome this challenge. And unfortunately, the challenge lives in your own mind. So that's the first third of March, what we're really dealing with. The second third of March, we are going to use the Pride Tarot. I love this deck as well. Here we go. One, Page of Cups. Wow. 7 of Pentacles. There we go. And the Sun. Okay, so the middle of March really feels like a time where inner child wants to be heard. And again, we are recognizing now that the thoughts that have been infiltrated into our minds are not our own thoughts, that they are somebody else's thoughts that we have adopted as our own. This feels like a month of really recognizing what is your truth. Interesting, because throat is very associated with the truth, communicating from the truth, but crown is more about just knowing and allowing the truth to come in, and then you can reflect on it rather than really like externalizing what you have learned. It's about internalizing what you've learned and accepting it as a new truth. So again, it feels like this middle part of March, we're recognizing how other people's opinions and thoughts and feelings have infiltrated our minds without even meaning to. Maybe, people have influenced us without meaning to influence us. It's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the way that things have been. And it's about accepting and recognizing what is yours and what isn't yours, and allowing what isn't yours to move aside so that you can make space for what feelings and thoughts and opinions and beliefs are your core thoughts, feelings, opinions, and beliefs. 7 of Pentacles is one of knowing your personal worth, not because of anything you do, anything you have, anything you wear, anything you say, just about you being valuable as you are. Seeing your qualities as an addition to your value, but just you without any of your personality traits, any of your skills, your habits. You are valuable. Being convinced of that, whether that's by yourself, by this video, by your guides, anything that comes through in a meditation, listening to it. And as long as it furthers the lesson of, wow, I am valuable just as I am. I don't have to prove my value. I don't have to prove that I'm worthy of anybody else's respect or adoration or approval. I am valuable because I say so. And this is really healing for the inner child in you who maybe didn't feel like you were valued or appreciated or worthy of that unconditional respect. All right, that's the middle of March, the end of Pisces season. Not super light. It seems like this is a month where we are really recognizing the traits or the habits and the mental cycles that are not serving us anymore and aligning ourselves with a higher version of ourselves. All right, moving on to the last third of March from the 21st to the 31st. This is the Ostara Tarot. It is related to Ostara, which is going to be at the beginning of April. It's the astrological new year. Ooh. There we go. There's one. Wow. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love this. All right. We got death. So if you're afraid of this card, I just want to reassure you that this does not mean anything in the physical human realm of death. This is a card of renewal, of rebirth, of transformation, death of the old. So really related to death of being influenced by other people's conditioning or being influenced by other people projecting their feelings onto you. This is the death of everything that you're holding onto that is not yours. And instead of being playing the victim or being a martyr and like, yes, I will carry your emotional labor for you, walking right past it and not allowing yourself to be the one who is in charge or responsible for other people's healing journeys. And I say healing journeys because even if they don't come across as someone who is actively working on themselves, they are still on a journey and their own pace. So you are also going at your own pace. And during this Aries season, you are allowed to blind yourself to somebody else's journey and move forward, not without empathy or not without sympathy and not without compassion, but just that it doesn't have to be your weight to carry. It's their journey is not resting on your willingness to do their work for them. Are you allowed to be a supportive friend, partner, parent, child? Yes, you're allowed to be supportive, but you are not the sole person responsible for other people's labor. And other people's labor also means carrying this version of you that fits other people's molds of you. Does that make sense? So if somebody has painted you as someone who will do anything for them, and you perpetuate that, you're sort of enabling their own unwillingness to work on their journey. I hope that makes sense. I don't mean that in any sort of discompassionate way, but you get the chance to transform through letting go of the emotional labor that maybe you held on for other people and to say no. Yeah, the beginning of this Aries season is one where you get to say no. Hey, if you've got enough cups on your plate, if you've got enough things to handle, you're allowed to say no. And even if somebody offers you something that is valuable and that is great, you don't have to say yes just because you're worried it won't come back around. If you feel like you have enough on your plate, say that maybe in your job, you're doing enough and you're satisfied with the amount of work that you're doing, and someone offers you a project that you would really like to do, but simply don't have the time for right now, don't assume that by saying no, you're taking that off the table completely. You can temporarily say no and come back to it. You can put a pin in something at the end of this month. All right, let's pull a self-care oracle card. I haven't pulled from this in a while, so figured now was the time to bring it out. What is the best way for you to take care of yourself and recharge this month? Okay, you've got one. Take a walk. I love that. Just take a walk. Let your body do some simple movement. It knows how to do it. Of course, if you can't take a walk, then maybe allow yourself to, to experience the outdoors, to take a step outside of your safe space. And even if that means sitting outside, do that. Take yourself outside of your cave. All right, I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.